Hello. Thank you for your interest in our Integrated and Individualized Book App, or IIB for short. In this brief tutorial video, I'd like to explain how to download the app and then how to use the many features that the app offers. To download the app, I need to open my browser and go to www.myiib.com or .net or .org. And then I will see two steps. First is to install a provisioning file, and the second is to install the application itself. So first, I'll click to install the provisioning file, and it's a verified installation. It will happen almost instantaneously because it's a very small file. And then, once I'm done with that, I'll return to Safari again and install the application itself. And then I will see it downloading on my iPad's desktop. And it's important to note that currently our IIB works for iPad only, but we are working on having an Android version as well. Once the download is complete, I can go ahead and open it, and it will bring me to Network Life 20 Questions and Answers. Currently, we have 3 chapters of this book in the IIB format, and we're looking to add more in the coming weeks and months. This app works like any typical reader for any touchscreen, in the sense that I can use finger gestures to navigate the pages. And the first place I'd like to direct your attention to is to the top toolbar, where I see the first 3 features. On the left is chapters, so I can click there and I can easily jump to the beginning of each chapter that's in this book. So I can go to chapter 2, I can go to chapter 3, or I can return back to chapter 1. The second feature on this toolbar is the ability to resize the text. And so I'm going to click on the uppercase A here to make the text bigger. And the images actually resize with the text itself. And I can click on the lowercase a to bring the text back down to the size that I'd like. And the third feature here is the ability to add bookmarks. So if I want to add a bookmark for this first page, I can click on the right and click this plus sign to create or add a bookmark. And that is added for chapter 1, page 1. So now, whenever I'm at a different page, I can always click on the bookmarks tab to go back to where I had created it and return there accordingly. So now, I'd like to bring you through the acronym of IIB. It's integrated and it's individualized. So I'd like to talk about what each of those mean. Integrated means that we offer all the features of an online course within this app itself. Those include access to the lecture videos, access to the discussion forums, access to external content, and so on. So the first place that we look to see where to find that content are on the indentations next to the paragraphs on the pages themselves. When I click on one of those indentations, I will see 4 options. 1 is notes, 2nd is public comments, 3rd is videos, and 4 is links. So the notes are any private notes that I like to add, and I can come back and look at later. So if I want to click add, I can click and write this is a note and hit done. The second are public comments. So these comments are available to anyone who is using the app, and you can see what other people have posted. You can ask questions to people and have them respond. You can respond to other people's questions. You can see what other people were confused about, and so on. The third are videos, which I will explain in a minute, and the fourth are links. And so any links to external content that you'd like to add here, for instance, I can add www.google.com if I'd like. And you can follow those links accordingly. Whenever there's content next to a paragraph, the indentation will turn color to red. And so some of these tabs are already red by default. And the reason is that there are lecture videos next to those paragraphs. So the lecture videos are cut up into a small enough granularity that each will cover a few chapters. So for instance, this first lecture video called History. I can click and I can stream that. You can hear that playing. I can skip through if I'd like. And that lecture video will cover material on these first 3 paragraphs until I get to this point down here where I have the next lecture video. The reason that we cut them up into small pieces is so that as you're reading through, if you find something that's confusing to you, you can return to the previous indentation and find the material that you're watching relatively quickly. And so you will see lecture videos throughout the text. So the next set of features that I'd like to introduce are the ability to highlight text and look it up on external platforms. So for instance, if I highlight the word distributed, I will see the standard ability that the iPad offers you to copy and define the word using the iPad's dictionary. And then I will also see features to look it up on Wikipedia, Coursera, as well as our very own course wiki that we've created. So if I highlight distributed algorithm, I will see the same set of features except for define, because it's not a single word. But now I can click on Wikipedia and I can see the actual Wikipedia page on distributed algorithms to read up more about that. Additionally, I can search this on Coursera. And I'm not actually going to sign in to Coursera, but all the discussion forums on Coursera would be searched. And lastly, we have the ability to look it up on our very own course wiki. And so now I can see everything related to distributed algorithms throughout the course. So now, this is also individualized. So this app actually adapts to your perceived level of learning and will change the content that you will see in the next section accordingly. And the way that happens is you will notice that once you get to the end of a section, you can't continue anymore. And the reason for that is that you have to answer the questions corresponding to this lecture material. And the questions are contained in this queue down at the bottom of the page. And so once you click on the queue, it will bring you through and it will ask you to answer some questions. So for instance, I can get maybe the first one correct and I can see the explanation if I'd like. I can continue. The second question that I will also get correct. The third one, now maybe I'm not a math person, and so in this case I can just answer that I have no idea, and you're encouraged to answer these questions as truthfully as possible. So if you're not sure, you really don't know how to approach the problem, be honest about that, and then it will give you the ability to have an explanation. And perhaps I got something wrong with the question. And lastly, I will do... So now that I've answered all the questions, I can hit done and I can go past. And now I can advance past this section. And what I see in the next section is going to depend upon how I did on those questions. So it's going to adapt to my necessities as a reader. Not only my necessities, but also my interest. And you'll see the same features again with lecture videos in the text, and so on. And so at the end of each section, we will attempt to adapt to your perceived level of learning. Okay, thank you very much for your interest. I hope you enjoy the app, and please feel free to email us or contact us with any suggestions that you may have.